Hey guys, another update. First I just wanted to show you my new shelves here. It's not a great angle, I'm sitting on the floor as far back as I can, so um, and I'm using the tripod, so I don't know, I can't really move around that much. But if you can see, I had the two ones on top before, so and I put up these two right here. I used to have on the top ones, I used to have my horror movies, but you can, I have to but now I have on the top one I have my books, and then on the two middle ones the horror ones, and then I have TV shows here that are not comedy. So basically on this shelf I removed all the shows that aren't comedy, and now I'm keeping only the comedy ones. I don't like this camera at all because you can't film very well with it. It's just not a good camera. Um, it's the flip. I'm still using that, and it's good for vlogging, I guess. But that's it. Anyway, I don't have a lot to show you. I have 4 books and 6 DVDs, and I have started getting into reading a lot, and I have decided to start with books. I think I will anyway. At least this time I will show you the stuff I've gotten. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna show you the books I'm getting from now on, but I'm gonna show them in the end of the video, the second half, because I think more people are interested in the movies. So yeah, I'll just start with two more Jackie Chan movies. In the last one I had 5 of them, I think, and I've only watched 1 so far, but I got 2 more. And first is City Hunter, which I've never seen. I think I heard that this is kind of silly. If I'm not sure if this is the movie where he dresses up like a girl or something, and there's a very strange fighting sequence. I'm not sure, but I haven't seen this movie, and it's not the movie that appeals to me the most that he's made that I have not seen, but I still thought that I should check it out. This is also by Cine Asia, that all the other ones were, if you remember me talking about that. So there we go. And then also First Strike, which I mentioned that I have ordered. Yeah, I have not seen this. I'm pretty sure about that. But I'm also pretty sure that I have seen parts of it on YouTube or whatever. But yeah. Then let's see. I got this Basketball. I have seen this a couple years ago, but I never saw the whole thing. But I remember kind of liking it, and I've been wanting to watch it again and finish it this time. And I did I liked it, but it has a lot of humor that aren't that great. Very outrageous, very sort of parodic, or kind of slapsticky humor, very David Zucker, if you will. He directed this, and yeah, I think he might have written it too. It has this very parody feel to it, kind of absurdist. It's I don't know. I like it, I guess, but it's not the best. Um, but yeah, obviously it's with Trey Parker and Matt Stone. That brings me to the next 2 DVDs. Actually, the last 2. Yeah, there's not a lot in this. But South Park Season 2 and Season 3. No, actually, I have one more DVD. I forgot. Have not seen these 2 yet, but I liked Season 1, so I wanted to get more. I'll probably finish 2.5 Men before I get started with these. I also unboxed that last time. 8 seasons, but I had seen the first one, so I started at the second. Right now I am at Season 5, so I've been watching a lot of it. But yeah, I'll be done with that sometime soon, or I don't know, eventually. And then I guess I'll start with these. Um, and then the last DVD is The Girl Next Door, and that I can show the book at the same time. Um, I read the book first. I let's see. I last year, when basically when I started reading last year, when I got back to reading after a long hiatus, um, I wanted to look up some books that interested me, and this was one of them. So I sent this to my dad, or the link to a website where you could get it, because that was before Christmas, and I thought that maybe it could go on my wish list. So I sent the link to him, but I never got it until Easter this year, and it turned out that he had bought it before Christmas. He had so much stuff to give me already, so he said that he thought that he'd wait until another opportunity to give it to me. So that was kind of surprising when I got it for Easter, but I was glad about that. And this went pretty fast to read, because as you can see, there's a lot of empty space basically on the page. A lot of dialogue, and well, and then I didn't know about the movie. I knew about the movie, but I didn't know that it was based on this until after I got this, I think, or at least after I sent the link to my dad. And I knew it was going to be really disturbing. That's actually kind of why I wanted to read it. But I just wasn't. I didn't know how they were going to be able to, because some really graphic and disturbing things happen in this book, and I just wasn't sure how are they really going to be able to put that on in a movie. I mean, a lot of these very sexual activities and very violent and brutal stuff happening to this girl. I think she was 14 in the book or something. Can they really do a movie where they show this? So I was pretty certain that the movie would not be very, very truthful to the book, because they just can't show that unless they cast someone who's above 18, I guess. Then it would be a bit easier to get away with a lot of stuff, and that's what they did. I believe she was like 22 or something. It was kind of funny. It wasn't extremely unbelievable, but it was kind of on the verge, because in the book, between the protagonist being 11 or 12 or something, and the girl being 2 or 3 years older, in the movie, I think the age difference between the actors, those two actors playing those two characters, the age difference was 8 years, I think. So that's a big difference. But they never really mentioned their ages in the movie, so maybe they weren't supposed to be the same ages as in the book. I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah, I guess I have a lot to say about this. I will try to keep it as quick as possible. I have a few things I want to say, and another few things I want to say though. I don't know if I mentioned that Jack Ketchum wrote the book. I guess I should have started with that, but maybe you could see before. But yeah, okay. So they actually do show most of the things that happen. Pretty much all of it, actually. What you read, you will pretty much see, but not as graphic as possible. I mean, they could have done it much worse, sure, but it's still pretty disturbing. But yeah, as for a good movie, I didn't really think it was a great movie, but it was fun to see, having read the book and sort of comparing, because a lot of the things were the same. They could have done something different with it, and something a little bit more with it, but it was fun to see. It's definitely not something after you read the book and then the movie you definitely know the characters, especially Meg, the girl who gets all this shit happening to her. You really get to sort of know her and feel for her, and you can't really let the whole thing go afterwards. It's kind of just sort of gnawing at you afterwards a little bit. But what else can I say? I don't know, but it was pretty graphic. As for special features, it has 2 commentary tracks. I only listened to one, but the first one is with the director and the producer, and then the cinematographer / producer, and the other one, which is the one I listened to, with Jack Ketchum and the 2 screenwriters. And I was very interested in listening to Jack Ketchum talking about the movie. It was a very good commentary. If you have seen this movie, I recommend you to get this DVD, because you might want to hear that commentary track. It also has some interviews and the making of with interviews, so that was pretty unusual. In the making of, they I ended up talking about this a long time anyway, but oh well. In the making of, they interview everybody basically. Usually they just interview the main people, and that's what they do in Interview with Cast and Crew, that special feature. But in the making of, they interview tons of people, like the people with the smallest parts in the movie, and a lot of the crew that you never think about even exist. It's really interesting. So definitely a great DVD to have, and yeah, I'm sure I've forgotten something, and I was kind of incoherent to what I said, but yeah, there's a lot to say about that. Let's see, I can show you this book next, which I have not read yet. Got it today in the post, the autobiography by Steve Martin, A Comic's Life, Born Standing Up. I'm not sure if it's only about his stand-up career. I think it says A Comic's Life, so I mean, I don't know if it's a traditional autobiography, or if it focuses the most on comedy, or the comedy business, or stand-up, because it seems like it does. And also it says here, by Jerry Seinfeld, one of the best books about comedy and being a comedian ever written. So I guess it's a lot about that subject, but I'm interested in that. So yeah, I haven't started at all, but I'm looking forward to it. Then I guess I can show you. It's a book, but it's not exactly sophisticated literature. The one after is, though. But this is Mr. Bean's diary. I found out about this. I was looking on Goodreads if Rowan Atkinson had written us an autobiography, because that's something that I want to read. But instead I found this, and being a big fan of Mr. Bean, I had to get this. But I'm going to show you how it looks like. This is it's a lot of fun. I could talk about this for several minutes too, but it's already 13 minutes, so I'm gonna try not to. But Rowan Atkinson, I guess he wrote it. Maybe he got help from someone else. I'm not sure, but it doesn't matter. It's the Mr. Bean character's diary, and you get to read his diary in the year of 1993, or from Christmas 1992, and then I haven't finished it. I read that much in one day, so it doesn't take long to read. But you can tell when you look inside here, because he just writes little every day, and there's a bunch of sketches and ideas and inventions that he has, and poems, and he just writes down a lot of stuff, and it's really funny. I will say though, at the beginning I was just laughing constantly. It's some really funny stuff. For example, I'm going to show you. For example, here you open the book and it says, "Hello, if I've been silly enough to mislay this diary, please return it to," then the address. It says, "A £5 reward would certainly not be out of the question." Okay, so you know that, and then you start reading his diary, and then you get. I hope it's not too far. Okay, here. And then you get to here. The last thing he did. On Sunday the 14th of February, 10, put out bin. Okay, let's see what he did the next day. Okay, it's empty. That's kind of odd. Empty again. And then found diary. I laughed really hard when I saw that. And then there's a letter from the man from a man in his building. It says, "Dear Mr. Bean, we haven't met yet, but I have just moved into number 3 down the hall. Enclosed, I don't know, it's your diary which I found today by the bins in the porch," or something. "I would very much like to call to make your acquaintance and perhaps to pick up the reward you mentioned on the first page." And Mr. Bean has written, "Shut up. Avoid man in number 3." And then he comes back to that. Avoid man in number 3. NB. I'm not sure what NB means, to be honest with you. And then he has spilled tea. Where's all this tea coming from? And that's an invention that he made. You can pretty much tell what it is. Fly, plow, it says. Yeah, avoid man in number 3. I could show you every page and talk about it. It's just a lot of fun. If you like Mr. Bean, I recommend you to get this. But as I started saying, I think I got a little sidetracked. It's definitely funnier in the first part, in the first couple of, I don't know, whatever. But it gets a little weaker later. But I haven't finished it. I have a little bit left. Also, the last thing I will show you is, if you look on the top, if you can see. Oops. Well, if you know the series, then you will know what that means, or what that refers to. The 2 cars there. It's kind of funny. It's a lot of funny stuff in this, though. I do like it, and I do enjoy reading it or flipping through it. And then the last book is The Trial. It's not comfortable sitting like this. The Trial by Franz Kafka. Yeah, whatever. I got this from my grandparents, and it's taken me a long time to get through, but that's mainly because after 2 chapters, which I read pretty soon, in about 2 days, I just did not feel like reading more, and I let the book lay wherever for 2 months, and I didn't even want to touch it, because chapter 2, I did not like that. I thought it started out so great, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be one of my favorite books. And then chapter 2, just, oh, fuck. But then I decided to, fine, I will continue with this, because I don't want to leave it forever. I want to finish it. So a couple days ago I continued reading it, chapter 3, that is, and it got good again. So since then I've enjoyed reading it. Here are some bite marks, though, which I made at a certain page, which I won't try to find. Well, it's right here, actually, right there. This page did not respond well to me. I mean, I was so annoyed. So I bit the book. But it's good. It definitely is good. I like it. Haven't finished it yet. You can see where I am there. I feel like I should say something more. It's written in when is it? Well, I don't know, in 1920s, I'm not sure. My grandpa has written a little text there to me. He always encouraged me to read, and he always want to give me books. 1925, when it was first published. So, but this is in Swedish. I find with books that were originally written in English, I prefer reading them in that language if I can understand it. But since this was written in German, or I believe, from the first place, I don't feel the need to read it in English. If I understood German, then I would read it in German, because I want to read it in the original language, you know, but I mean, it doesn't matter reading it in Swedish or English if it was written in German, so I decided to read it in Swedish. Anyway, I read the Metamorphosis too, but I'm kind of liking this a little more. We'll see how it ends, but I'm planning on getting more, definitely, because I like his style. Okay, I didn't expect this to be 20 minutes, but there you go. Right there, 20 minutes. So I'll just stop the video right here. I don't think everybody wanted to listen to me talking about books anyway, so not 20 minutes for everybody. But if you did listen to everything, then thank you. I appreciate it. Tell me what you think about the movies and the books, and yeah, I'm sure I'll be annoyed over something that I forgot to say, or something that I kept on talking about forever. But anyway, I really did have a lot of things to say about a lot of these items, especially the books. Um, but that's it. Thank you for watching, listening, and yeah, not sure when the next video will be. It's gonna probably be in about 2 weeks. So I will see you then. Thanks for watching.